Nice. That is the cast. And last we left this cast, they were dealing with a bounty hunter hunting them. They managed to take out the bounty hunter's drones, and then Jata managed to use his assault rifle to unload at the back of the knee of one of the bounty hunter and kind of remove the leg. He went full automatic and emptied an entire magazine into the back of his knee. Yeah. This is after Haven had, or after Pierce had upper sledged him and then sledged him in the chest while he was down on the ground. So this bounty hunter had a bad time. But right after this had happened, the security, local police from Tycho Station showed up and arrested everybody because, you know, automatic shots and everything running through the station. So where we pick up is inside a security office. You guys are all in the same room together. Your hands are bound behind your back with ties, zip ties. And you guys have kind of been waiting there for about, maybe about 30 minutes to an hour. And you can look out, there's a little window, you can look out and you can see like people walking back and forth through the security office and looking at papers. Occasionally someone will walk by and kind of look at you and talk with somebody else, but you can't hear them. And then they'll walk away, kind of thing. It's a soundproof room, but you're there alone. There's nobody else in there but you guys. And after about an hour or so of waiting, the door opens and this older gentleman, Earther by the stature, walks in, rubbing his fort temple and going, "So which one of you geniuses decided to start a fucking fight in the middle of my my docking yard?"
The one who, came at us, bro.
The other guy. The
one who has no leg right now.
Yes. The legless man.
I was too drunk to remember.
He's probably got a real bruised torso, too.
All right, do you want to hear the story, guy, or are you just gonna
Let me hear your side of the story, all right? Because the guy's still in fucking coma. He's in a medically induced coma right now, and we're trying to save his leg. Probably not. We're probably gonna have to have a biotic of some kind. We don't recognize him other than the fact that he has an ID that says he works as a bounty hunter for a couple of different security agencies, but he doesn't even have his fucking name on it. So I have no goddamn clue what's going on. All I know is that you band of crazy motherfuckers just shot up a dude in the middle of my docks. What's going on?
All right, I look, she's gonna look kind of at Sledge because it was him she was walking out with. She can give him a look and she's gonna look at the guy and she says, "So we were gonna go out and do some business of our own because we work for Culpepper, and this guy, he had drones. We noticed him right away, and we just tried to ignore him and move on. But then he jumps down in front of us, and he's holding the gun and telling us, 'Go here, go there.' At first, we thought it was just a mugging, but he said something about bounty hunting, and then it got real. He whipped guns and stuff out. It was really terrible. I don't know how to do this stuff. This is not my thing. That's not what I signed up." But anyway,
I mean, it kind of got to the point of, it was either us or him.
Exactly. And then thankfully, this wonderful gentleman we all love on our crew, and she's, referencing the Sledge. He if he hadn't been there, I don't know what would have happened to me. I mean, he's tougher than me when it comes to that stuff. So I would have died.
You need a new dress.
Yeah, look at my dress. I just bought this, like, literally today.
Oh, okay. So, what you're trying to say is that you were ambushed by a guy who's currently in my ER.
Correct.
And you defended yourselves. That's your story.
Yes.
Okay. Now you were all the crew members of the Actium, right?
Yes.
And he pulls up his hand terminal and kind of swipes through it. Why the fuck do you have a medicated kid in your thing? Totally doped up, barely knew where the fuck he was.
We're taking him back to his family.
Doped up? What is he, a fucking, roided out? Why do you have to dope him up so bad? He was barely conscious.
Because he's a spoiled earther brat and wouldn't fucking shut up.
He looks over at you.
Is a runaway with authority issues.
And he doesn't handle space travel very well either.
I can
Okay.
sympathize. Do you have any Tylenol?
Yeah. Yeah, we can get you some Tylenol. So, here's what I'm going to do. Seeing as I'm the only security officer who's willing to take this bullshit, and because Fred Johnson himself asked me to talk to you about this, we're going to let this slide. However, you're going to pay for the damages to the docks, which was kind of extensive. And this one, he looks over at, points at Jata. He stays with us for the next couple of days. It's a legal thing. He's the one who removed the fucking leg of with the other guy with the assault rifle. And Jata is just like, nope, it wasn't me, man. It was just the sledge. He immediately points at you.
I gesture to the hammer.
Yes.
Like
sledgehammers.
You
Conspicuously known for being cutting weapons.
Because our officers saw him unload an entire magazine of ammunition into the back of that guy's leg. So I know it wasn't you, Sledge.
Jata, you would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for, the truth.
He just leans back and goes, Pinche Lotus, fuck.
Okay, but what's going to happen with him? Are you incarcerating him for a couple of days? Or
I just need to make sure he's available for statements in case the guy wakes up and wants to press charges. He's the one who's be most responsible for the leg and everything else. Like it has to do with OPA shit. Don't ask me about this stuff. I'm just still new to it.
Okay. I just kind of look at Jata. I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you.
He looks a little panicked. He just panicked and pissed off is kind of what he looks like right now.
Will he be allowed to have visitors?
Yeah, no, you're fine. He's fine. But you four, there's one other thing. Mr. Johnson wants to see you in his office.
Of course.
Can I change?
Can I swap out that Tylenol request for whiskey? Okay.
Hair of the space dog.
All right.
We can't really. He wants you right away.
Yeah.
But
fine.
and he reaches into his back pocket and pulls out a flask and tosses it to you, Cass. But because you can't catch it since you're bound, it bounces off your chest onto your legs and goes right. And then walks behind you guys, pulls out a knife, flicks open a knife and cuts open your restraints, all but Jata. And there's, all right, well, if you follow me, we're going to talk to Mr. Johnson. And I'm sorry, ma'am, you can't change right now. We just don't have time.
Give me some towels. And water.
He looks back over and kind of shouts out, towels and water. And someone walks up and hands him some
what are those Tide pins? Give me a Tide.
Yeah. He goes, you want one of those? And then he goes, hey, can I get a? And then a woman just walks by and hands him a Tide. Just like walks by him and hands it to him because I know what's up.
She doesn't even look at him.
Yeah. Just hands it to him, just like essentially being like, I feel you, kind of situation.
Yeah, I take like 2 or 3 minutes just to as we walk or do whatever.
It's stained, but it doesn't look bad. It's definitely ruined though.
It was it was a black dress anyway, so it's probably not that bad.
It's mostly
it's a black dress. Yeah.
Oh no, I know how to get blood out, guys. You can't. You can't.
I take a nice long drag off of his flask and then cap it and hand it back to him. It's like, job you're in, I'm not going to take all of this from you. So,
Yeah,
give
ice
him back
cold
his
water.
booze.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, so you guys are led by the security officer. He never identifies himself. But he does look back at you, Cass, and goes, Navy or just security?
UN security.
Did a stint in the Marines myself before coming out here.
Funny how we all end up out here eventually.
It's always Earthers. Earthers always out here saving the fucking belt.
Earth's not worth the fucking trouble.
At least you
I
can
say.
breathe.
From a jail. Okay, whatever.
He walks you guys up. You guys go through the that's right. You guys head through the station, being led by him. It's pretty busy. I mean, we're to look at the central part of the station. We're going to like Fred Johnson's office, which is kind of upspin, kind of towards the top of the station. It takes you about maybe 20 or 30 minutes to get all the way up there. And when you get there, there's a woman at the front who's walking out with a pad, or like a not a pad, but like a larger version of a I keep wanting to say mobile glass, but it's wrong.
What are they called?
Hand terminal. A hand terminal.
Yep.
And she kind of like eyes and nods, like kind of looks at the security officer, nods, and she goes, Bull? And he goes, just nods, as he walks in. And she walks by. Skinny, tall, belter, darker complexion. And as you walk in, the door opens, and there behind Fred Johnson, you see a big fucking window. And there seems to be a dozen or so ships being built behind him in some large bay. You can't tell if it's a window or if it's just like a projection. It's pretty decent. Everything is crisp and clean. And Fred Johnson's sitting there kind of working on some paperwork and looks up and goes, Oh, friends, welcome. I didn't think I'd see you so soon. Bull, you can go. And Bull nods and, you know where to find me. And then walks out. Goes, he's a good man. Served with me in the Navy. Got a bit of a temper, but good guy nonetheless. So I hear you removed a man's leg on the docking ports.
None of us did.
Yeah. I mean,
Our colleague who is still in lockup
Jata
performed the amputation.
Oh, okay. So was it did he ask for it? Self-defense? Okay. Okay, well.
Apparently.
So Jata may have also tipped off a couple of alarms when before this as well, which is why I want to talk to you. You see, I hear you're working with Mormons. I don't mind. It's fine. Mormons and I don't necessarily have a good relationship after Eros, but they're fine. The problem is I didn't hear about any missing scientists until I heard it through my contacts. Seems Jata was talking to some of his contacts and mentioning about these scientists. Didn't take too long to figure out you guys were working with them. I don't mind, again, that you're working for them. But you're going to have to keep me in the loop about what's going on. I don't like stories about people disappearing from my station.
That's fair.
Cass mostly just looks at the rest of the crew like, what did you do?
Yeah, you weren't there for any of this. This is all brand new news to you. You
Mormons and kidnapping? No, not so much the kidnapping. Mormons?
Mormon blessings upon you.
Mormon blessings upon you.
blessings be upon you.
He goes, well, here's the thing.
This is why I drink. Okay.
As long as you keep me in the loop about your investigation, keep me updated, I have no problems what's going on. But you can't be starting fights on my station.
We didn't start the fight. It got
Or the
started.
fire.
And started.
But still.
If you have future problems, call security. The last thing I need is people losing limbs on my station.
Well, it seems like the last thing you need is people missing from your station, but I get the sentiment.
He stands up slowly and looks
But
at you very
technically,
seriously. As you're talking, he kind of holds up a finger and goes, the OPA is seen as a terrorist organization throughout the belt, throughout the entire fucking system. I'm trying to legitimize it. And the last thing I need is someone who's worked with me, some yahoos, going out and playing cowboy. I already have enough cowboys to deal with. Especially Earther cowboys. And he looks at you, Kaz.
I didn't do fucking any. I was drunk.
I can smell.
No, that's I am drunk. Those are two different states.
So this is going to be a very simple proposition. If you get in trouble, call security. This is not the Wild West.
Fine. That's not an unfair ask.
Sasa?
I flip out my hand terminal. I'm like, look, they're on speed dial.
Yeah, tell us what their number is and we'll freaking call them.
All right. You're good to go. Just, again, stop damaging my shit. And gestures you towards the door and kind of sits back down and goes back to his hand terminal looking through stuff.
Yeah, just...
Yeah, I just turn on my heel and I'm like, ah!
That's what
So
you
you
get
guys
for
did
being
was open a
drunk.
door. All I did was open a fucking door.
You also shot and missed.
Not the
Once.
point.
I did literal nothing.
No, you
Oh, you
murdered a drone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Showed up.
inside the airlock, and you had a raging hangover, so you were just done with it.
Drones have rights too.
No, they don't.
Did I get my knockback?
So, you guys have exited the office. What are you guys going to do now? Last we left you guys were planning on going to talk with the
mother
of the
or the wife. Pardon me, the wife.
the wife and the
Yeah.
two kids of the last scientist who left.
Before we go where we're going, do we get our shit back, or are they keeping weapons and stuff from us?
They held your weapons. There's
Okay.
a kind of a secure. There's like a small, a tall but skinny belter woman who is sitting there as kind of the secretary area and kind of looks at you and goes,
I sidle up, or not sidle up, but I like step up and like, where do we go to settle the bill?
"Oh, go back to security. They all have your things." And she looks at her hand terminal and goes, "And here's the price. So one of you will have to lose a income point. You have to
Yeah,
choose for it.
Cass just does it because he's fucking done.
So you lose one income point.
Yeah, that's fine. I have 9.
For those of you guys who don't know,
Dang.
who are still wondering, yeah, he got rich.
Dang.
Yeah.
That was one of the
Dang.
things I did when I leveled up.
Yeah.
Well, I got our stocks restocked while you weren't here, like without having to lose one. So I was like, heck yeah.
Handy.
Oh man. Okay. I see where
I
I can
got us
change my
torpedoes.
base, but I can't edit the total. I'll
Yeah,
figure
you
that
edit the base. That's what it does.
Okay.
It reduces the base.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And all it is that if you're making a purchase that's higher than your income, then you have to roll, and if you succeed on the roll, then you drop your base by 1. And your base goes up
Yeah.
and down depending on missions and other windfalls and such. So
And when you level up, you can recover negative income.
yes, so your base can go back up if you in this case back to what it should have been. if you want to. Yeah. All right. So, you guys go to the security station?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go to the security station. It's fairly not that busy. Suddenly, like it was busy when you guys left, but now it seems to have been a shift change when you guys left because now it's much lighter outside the halls as you go towards the security station. You get your weapons pretty easily. They even hand you Jata's rifle, and they say, "We don't need this right now," and just hold it for him.
Yeah, I sling it over my shoulder. It's like, oh. Wonderful.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do? You guys have left security, and you guys still want to go talk to the wife?
I dropped Jata's rifle off back at the ship.
Okay.
Just as a side note.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely gonna want to go back to ship just to change, you know.
Okay.
Also to check on our, just to see what they did with our drugged up companion.
All right.
Yeah,
So you guys,
that too.
you guys go back to the ship, and he's gone.
Oh fuck, man.
You also have a wave from Benji. The message waiting for you guys.
Yeah. Throw it up on the,
Let's listen to
on the
that.
screen.
It's not it's a text message. It just says the contact will to pick up the package will be at your port at your dock, and he says like within a day. He also has an addendum saying got a wave from F saying that job was completed. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good. At least. Did we get paid?
You already got paid.
Yeah, we got paid when we. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, when you-
now we have to
when you
find
pick
a
up.
rich kid. Again.
Again.
All right. So, what do you guys want to do? I think Sloan and Pierce were originally going to talk to the wife. Cass, you still have no idea what the fuck's going on. Like,
Yeah, and
completely
I'm specifically not asking about that because now I have this new problem.
So Sloan and Pierce, are you guys still going to go do the talk to the wife?
I mean, she plans on it, but she's also going to kind of look at the rest of everybody and say, so I guess the rest of you can figure out where the hell that kid is
Yeah, I'm
while
gonna
we
hunt.
do this. And then while we're out, we can see if we spot anything, you know.
Yeah, we'll hunt down the crybaby.
All right. Did we get his terminal? Like, did we have any of that kind of stuff? Because maybe we could, like, track him?
I mean, yeah, he had a hand terminal on him, but like anything that was on him was gone with him.
From this point on, when we do this type of mission, I'm implanting trackers.
Tracking trackers. A doctor with implanting trackers. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to look at Sledge and be like, you're still down to do what we were originally going to do? Or did you
Yeah,
have
let's go
another
for it.
concern? All right, cool. And so, yeah, she changes and all that. And she puts her dress, she soaks it in ice cold water because ice cold water will get blood out. I know that for a fact.
I don't want to know why you know that, but there are bodies buried behind Buster's house. That's the answer.
No, it's called being a lady and having to deal with stuff.
Oh yes,
Yeah, having to deal with villains.
Oh man.
So Sloan and Pierce, you guys are heading out.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go
he
wait
had
by
something
the
to do.
airlock in case I have to open it for them again.
So Sloan and Pierce head out. As you leave, it's fairly busy now. There's a lot of people walking through, some crates and stuff going through. You see a couple of security guards walking by. There's actually at least one. There's one posted outside your airlock as you come back out. He just nods at you. He's got a automatic rifle on him. He's got an OPA badge on him, like black jumpsuit. Just kind of nods at you.
Nice, we got protection.
So you guys are heading to the home of Fiona Tan, who is the wife of Matteo Seri. It's fairly upscale, nice area of the station. I mean, the whole station's really nice, but it's like upscale for the residences. So you get to her door, and you see it's locked. What are you guys going to do?
Knock, ring the bell.
Okay, so you ring the bell, knock, ring the pad, knock, and after a few minutes, the woman kind of opens the door and looks at you and goes, "Can I help you?"
Yes, my name is... What's my name? Sloan. Sorry. Too many D&D games, guys. My name is Sloan, and this is my friend Pierce. Yeah, okay. I always get your first and last name mixed up. Pierce. This is my friend Pierce, and
my other name too.
Yeah. I wanted to call you Sledge in front of her. I don't want to intimidate her.
This is my friend, the Sledge.
He'll make you feel real safe, girl. But she's like, this is my name is Sloan. This is my friend and associate Pierce, and we've come to ask you a few questions about the recent, thing that's been going on, and we want to try to help.
Are you from the church?
No, we're not. But the church asked us to help.
We've been sent by God.
We're on a mission from God.
Is this about
dark and I'm wearing sunglasses?
About her what?
Is this a mission? Is this here about? Are you here about my comments? Because I'm not retracting my comments. The church can go fuck itself. They need more women on Naboo.
Not your comments specifically about your missing husband. We've been asked to help find him.
You can see her expression change from kind of like confusion and a little bit of anger to kind of like sadness, like she is reminded that her husband is missing, and she kind of looks down a little bit and looks back up and goes, "Come in, just come in."
And we just step in. I mean, she just steps in quietly. I mean, didn't say anything else.
It's fairly nicely made up, mostly laminate woods, synthetic materials, big couch in the center entry room, and there's a big screen on the wall. You see, there's off to the right, there's a small kitchen, and to the left, there's a door that's closed. You see another door kind of next to the kitchen. And she gestures for you to sit on the couch and goes, do you want anything to drink? Anything to eat?
Water might be nice, something like that, just simple.
Nods and goes to the kitchen. You can see her kind of, she's reserved, and it looks like she's holding back something as she's like walking to the kitchen. She pulls out, some glasses, pours some water, comes back and hands them to you, and then sighs as she sits down on a chair, which is like a sofa cushion chair next to the couch, and goes, "What do you want to know about Matteo?"
Well, and she did again. I just kind of look at Sledge to see if he has any thoughts or ideas before she speaks. Like if he looks like he wants to say anything.
I mean, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Just the down low.
This is me as a player, just making sure I'm not stomping all over you or something. But yeah, she just looks back, at the lady. Her name one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't remember her name. Her name was Fiona Tan.
Fiona. Okay. Yeah, she just kind of looks at Fiona and says, "So we just want to know generally, if just to start with, if there was any kind of odd behavior or odd occurrences before he disappeared. Anything that's like any little thing. If it was small, the smallest thing might matter."
Nothing. I've talked with so many people about this at this point. Nothing. He just disappeared. He just didn't show up to dinner. He left. I know he called me and said he was leaving work and he's going to be home for dinner, and he just never showed up.
So absolutely just nothing out of the ordinary at all that you can think of. Okay. So walk me through what happened to you, like what your day was like out. I know you just told me he called and stuff, but just walk me through your day that day, and just generally overall what you just your habits and what's going on. Because, like I said, there might be something that helps us in any capacity.
So I don't work. Mateo's job's to work. I take care of the kids and keep everything, make sure he can focus on his work. He's a brilliant man, and he's been a brilliant man his whole life. He's been on so many different projects, Earth, Mars, the Belt. Our life has been movement. So my job has always been to keep Lexa and Cesare stable. Make them feel like they always have a home. So what I did that day was I dropped them off at school. I went to go shopping, returned home, unloaded the goods, the groceries, and I think I read a book. And then I went to go pick up Alexa and Cesare. Cesare was going to a friend's place to work on a project, so I let him go. So Alexa and I returned back here. I got a call from Mateo, at about about 5:00, saying he would be home in about an hour. He was going to leave work at around 6. Then I got another call from him at about 6 saying he was going to be a little bit later because he had to finish something up. So I was expecting him. It only takes him about 30 minutes to get home from work, and so I was expecting him to be home 7. Didn't show up, and so I figured maybe he was out with colleagues. Just wouldn't get through, and I didn't get worried until it was bedtime. Cesare came home, and I called him on his terminal, and nothing. Got nothing. After he didn't show up that night, I called security, and security told him that he hadn't found him, and that was the last I heard.
Okay, and I'm trying to think of. I had something a second ago. When you talked to him, he sounded normal. Didn't sound at all like stressed or like he was concerned, especially when he called to let you know he was working a little bit later than he expected. Like nothing in his voice suggested anything.
Nothing. He sounds, stressed, but nothing out of the usual. It's a stressful project. When you're building a generation ship that's going to take 100 years to get to the nearest star, and your job is life support. Yeah, he's a little stressed, just a little bit.
And the other person that's also missing, which I'm sure you heard of, did he have any interaction with her? Period.
Anna? Yeah, they work together all the time. She came over and had dinner with the kids. She came over all before she left. You think she's involved?
I'm not sure, but again, that's why we're talking about this. So she's come over and had dinner. So y'all were pretty. Were y'all close, or was she just somebody that was more
work colleague? She came over every once in a while. Mateo wanted to get her to be more social, and she wasn't really having it.
Yeah.
Mateo told me that she left because she got a better offer.
That's what information we found in general as well. And Mateo, obviously, he didn't sound like he was somebody looking for anything else or interested in another job, correct?
This is his dream. He's working for the church. He's been a devout church member his whole life. And now the church is calling upon him to build one of the most important projects in human history. Yeah, he was not interested in anything else. This is his legacy. This was his future.
Right. And so And you talked to me when we came to the door earlier. You mentioned your comments about the church. Now, so this is developed after this, like your feelings toward the church, or have you been saying this for a while?
I've always had problems with the church. The church is so male centric. They don't let the opinions of women come through, and there's just not enough women on the project for the Nauvoo. It's the biggest event of humankind, let alone the church. And you think that women should be equally represented, but it's mostly men, and I don't like that. Don't like that fact at all. I mean, I'm a house mother. I raise my kids and I do that and that, but I went to school. I have a degree in physics. I know what I'm talking about. I chose this. There should be women out there who would want to do this.
That's interesting. It's let me ask you this: how did she feel about that kind of stuff? I mean, was Anna somebody who felt the same way about that, like you? Was she? I mean, she didn't seem like a really outspoken social person, from what we can gather so far. But did she? And did your husband also share that view that you also have?
Oh, my husband was supportive, but
He wasn't loud.
No, and Anna was just mostly bored of the church. I mean, she attended
Right.
services, but she just very rarely would go to social events. And I mean, the only way she could even show up at dinner was because
He
I
goaded her.
favorite food, and he would make sure that I knew what her favorite food was, and he would make sure that she knew that we were having her favorite food.
What is her favorite food?
It's something, I forgot the name of it. It's a combination of beans and vat grown beef. It's kind of like a stew,
Okay.
chili stew. I can't remember what she called it.
Okay. Um. Sorry, as a Texan, I'm going beans and chili. Come on, no. I'm just teasing, but yeah, and I look at Sledge again to see if, like, I kind of look at Pierce and I say, do you have anything that you want to ask or that you're thinking right now?
Is there any other kind of business that he was aware of? Is there maybe any other hobbies he had, things he enjoyed doing, or outside of the church?
Oh,
And she's
no.
taking notes on her little terminal too, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
No. I mean, the church was his life. Social events, everyone loved them. I mean, he had hobbies, but his hobbies were like, youth night, running youth night, and going out with some other men to discuss, like Bible study and book clubs and all those sorts of things. It just, he was active. We've been active members since we were kids.
Can we get some of the names of people you knew he hung out with a lot, just in case we want to kind of check them out?
Bertram, Choi, just listening about Paul, Ronaldo. I mean, like who's who of the church. Everyone in the church knows Mateo.
So higher ups or like mid-level people in the church? Everyone. He was
everyone.
He was a community member of the church. A lot of people knew him then.
Everyone knows him. Yes, that's why I'm so concerned about this, because my Mateo is not someone who's just going to run away.
Okay. He loves, you're saying that there's no reason for him to be gone because he enjoyed his work and his life here.
He enjoyed his work. He enjoyed the church. He loves his kids. We've had no relationship problems ever. I don't know why he's disappeared. I'm convinced someone must have taken him.
Do you have any of his personal effects that we could see, just to, and I look at Pierce again. I mean, if you don't have any other questions or you have something else to say, I mean, I'd like to look at some of his stuff.
That's it so far.
Okay. Like, do you have a computer? I mean, whatever the equivalent of a laptop or computer is in this game,
Yeah, he's got a terminal on a desk. You can go check it out if you want. I mean, the security looked at it and couldn't find anything.
Okay, well, again, we're not necessarily looking for anything that's going to solve it right away. Just any little things that might pop out at us, or think about. We're different people. We don't know. We don't have any kind of bias to the station, so none of us are from here that I'm aware of. So we're just fresh eyes always help, maybe. So if you don't mind, I'd really like to see that kind of stuff. And if he has an office,
Yeah, she gestures through the kitchen. His office on the other side of the kitchen. Feel free to look.
Okay. And I like, all right, Pierce, you want to join me?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. And so I go that way for sure.
All right, you guys go into the office. It's a fairly neat office. There's some bookcases along the wall, some paper books, which you haven't seen a paper book in a while. Like there's a couple of paper books, and there's
That would indicate to me that he's fairly wealthy, right?
yes.
Okay. I mean, you already said they were in a nice area, but
Yes.
yeah.
And then he's got lots of paintings, and he's got some other things around there as well. You see a terminal there. Looks just like a screen, a keyboard kind of thing, so you can access. She walks over, turns on the terminal, and types in some
like his password.
To bring it up and say, "Feel free to look." She walks back out.
Yeah, and then and I look at Pierce too. I said, if you have any experience with this, you're welcome to do this. I kind of new to this sort of thing, but I can do what I can.
Well, I'll help out in whatever way I can. Get this shit figured out.
Yeah. Just start looking through it. Like, if there's any kind of like role I can do to sort of as like a communication or something, just to sort of, I mean, if there's harder things to find or less harder things to find.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Roll a communications check. Unless you have a tech check, and you can roll a tech check if you want to. Then it's easier because you have that that skill.
Where is that?
No, it just means that you not the jack of all trades, whatever it's called, the
improvisation. Oh yeah, I should do that. Show more of that. Okay, yeah, adapt to the situation. Don't gain the photo. Oh yeah, so I can basically gain that as a temporary skill.
So some skills are easier. Like even though you don't get the bonus, some skills will be easier to achieve.
And I don't generate stunt points.
Generate a general communications.
Yeah, I'll try that. I guess I don't have the click for tech bonus, so is there just like a roll I can do?
Just do a communication, and then tell me you're using tech, and that's fine.
Okay. And I'm gonna put it on secret for the task.
Okay. So, Piers, you start looking through it first, kind of looking through it and what you can find. You can't find much of anything. There's some schematics. There's some technical data from the Nauvoo, especially about the life support systems. It's fairly robust, but that's about it. Sloan, as you look through it, you can find a little bit more. You find a little bit of his personal logs, just kind of journals, kind of things talking about his life. It doesn't seem very fascinating.
Exciting, yeah.
There's no indication that he's planning on leaving, or no even hints of leaving.
So. Right. Is there a way to I would want to make some kind of copy maybe of some of his stuff, just as if there's anything that pops up later, so I could think about we find out what I'm saying, we found out some other information later, and then we can look back to that, see if there's there's something about the life support system that's really special.
You're gonna make some copies of his. Okay, yeah, you can make some copies.
At least, yeah, as long as it's cool with her, just some copies to put in my hand terminal and put on the ship later. Just like I said, if anything's wrong.
You step out and ask her. She says, "That's fine." Okay. My husband wasn't the most exciting man in the universe, and I know that's not attractive to some, but for me, that's exactly what
appealing. Yeah.
So
it's so boring. It's hot.
As you guys are making copies, I'm going to switch back to Cass.
Oh, absolutely.
Because is Cass? Are you going with? Is Mark? Are you going with Cass, or is it just going to go Cass solo?
I'm good either way.
Where's Cass going?
He's going
to look for Kai.
Sure, count me in.
Yeah.
Right,
I gather up my stuff, and I'm going to start with the security officer right outside our door.
All right, you walk out, and what do you say?
I just sort of nod towards his badge and thanks for looking out.
No problem, shorty.
Yeah. The the young man who was our guest. Were you on duty when he departed?
Yeah, I was here. They asked me to stay here and watch. But yeah, I saw him. He
Did he happen to say anything on his way out?
was so drugged up, I don't think he knew who his name was.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Did you happen to see which direction he stumbled off in?
You're trying to figure out where he is.
Yeah, I'm looking for him. He was on our ship for a reason.
Well,
Spoken to I forget the guy's name already.
who?
The
Fred
security
Johnson? Is that
officer.
where you're going? Oh,
The security officer. You only caught it in passing, so if you forgot it.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget. Oh, we spoke to Bull already.
isn't it both? Yeah.
Yeah. Explained what was, why he was on the ship. It's legitimate business. We just need to find him.
Talk to Bull. Bull would know. They walked him out. They took him out on a stretcher. He was so high. Like, I don't know what drugs you have, but can you get me some? Because that shit looked like he was in fucking somewhere else.
I just sort of look over at Mark and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we could help you out, but first we need to find him.
Dr.
Thank you
Bull,
for the information.
he's probably in the med center. That's my guess.
Good call. Thank you again for your efforts.
Thank you.
Bye.
Let you walk off.
Yeah, wander away. I slam some headache medicine while I'm at the ship as well, because I'm fighting this hangover.
Yes.
All right. I pull up my hand terminal and I dial up security.
Okay. The security, you see a face pop up, and it's a young man, his 20s, and Tycho Security.
Just looking for a little bit of information. I'm hoping to track down a friend of mine who may have been taken in for medical attention from Doc, and I give our Doc number. If security were to escort somebody for medical attention for whatever reason, what's the nearest med center they would have taken him to?
Talking about the guy who lost his leg?
No. Not that guy. This would have been a younger man, a little out of it.
Oh yeah, the rich kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks down at his terminal. He goes, probably it's a medical center. I think he was sent up there about it's about, for you guys, it's about like 10 minutes walk away. It's very close.
Oh,
It's just a clinic.
Perfect. Thank you very much for the information. If you see Bull, tell him Cass says hi.
Will do. Thank you for calling Tycho Security. Can I do anything else for you?
No, that'll be it. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Hangs up.
Hang up the terminal. Oh man, it's nice to work with official channels. To the med center.
You guys walk to the med center.
Maybe
right?
they'll have an IV bag.
You walk to the med center, and there's a young-ish, we're talking like late 20s, early 30s looking man who is short, very much shorter from a Belter or a Martian.
I'll be right back, by the way.
Okay. So probably like an Earther who is sitting there. He looks stressed. He's like furrowing his brow. He's rubbing his temple, and kind of looking at things and like flipping through like different like things on his hand terminal, and then looking over a terminal and flipping through that terminal, and just like, oh, okay. And then he sees you coming in and goes, "Oh, hi. Welcome to Hope Clinic. How can I help you?"
It's actually the other way around. To a point, we're hoping that we can take some of the. I look around and he's clearly stressed. It's like, take some of the stress off your hands. A friend of ours was, a charge of ours, that's not mince words, was likely brought in here a few hours ago, and we're just hoping to collect him, make sure he's okay.
Which drunk?
You might have him listed if you were able to get his ID off of him as Kai.
Let me check. Looks through. No Kai in my listings.
Younger man might have been brought in by security on a stretcher.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, the kid's back
Yeah.
there. He's the security's still watching him. He's
All
your
right.
friend?
Charge. Friend's a strong word.
Well, you can talk to security, but they're the ones who are going to win. He's still kind of doped up. He's coming down a little bit, but still doped up.
All right. Thank you very much. Down the hall?
Just down that way?
Perfect. And I head down that
Okay.
way.
You walk through.
I sort of stop halfway through before we get to security, and I turn to Mark. He's like, so we may need to convince him that, convince them that it's in his best interest medically to come with you. So be on your toes.
Fine.
As you're walking down through this hall, this place, it is packed. There are people in the hallways on stretchers. There are people in rooms, doubling up in rooms. Some of them look like they got colds, for the flu kind of thing, and some of them look like have broken legs. Some of them, there's some kids running around. Like, you can see why this guy was stressed, because this place is tiny and filled with pelters. They're all working class. It looks like most of them are still in their jumpsuits, Tycho Station jumpsuits, and but all of them look like belters.
All right. I assume there's a room being conspicuously watched by security.
There is, at the end of the hall, you see a guy with in security uniform standing outside the door, and he notices you guys approach. Kind of nods and goes, "How can I help you?"
Well, hopefully you can help us.
You hand
You're
him
one
his
of the-
hand and goes, "Wait, you're from this kid where we got this kid, aren't you?
Yes.
Why are you out and about? You removed a dude's
Because
leg." And
that
as
was
he
his
says that, his hand is drifting towards his pistol as he's talking to you about that.
I hands just sort of up in front of me. I'm like, calm down. We explained the situation to Bull. That was self-defense. The colleague of ours who actually, let's say, performed the amputation is still in holding. But there's no need for anything. Also, to be clear, all I did was destroy property.
Well, what are you doing here? This kid's under our protection.
We're here to talk about that. We've explained to Bull why he was on our ship. We're just looking to talk to the kid and hopefully convince him to come with us without the need for any sort of, but he doesn't handle space well, etc. Anyway, we're here on business. It's contracted. We're working for his parents. I'm sure you know the drill.
Are you trying to do trying to persuade him on this case?
A little bit.
Give me some persuasion.
All right, it's not going to go well because Cass would have tried to explain it using almost exactly those words, which are not not great.
Persuasion, then it's communication.
Yeah, can I just click right on communication to do the roll?
Just click on the actual the actual title. Just click left click on it, and it should.
There we go.
Bring it up.
No additional modifiers and
Secret.
Secret. Submit.
Okay. You have a stunt point if you want to use it.
Let me look at the the social stunts.
And make sure you guys have those stunt sheets up. Those stunt sheets.
Social stunts. There we go. I am going to. I'm going to use read the room on him, which will reveal his current attitude or an intention or mood indicator.
Okay, so you can tell that he is very distrusting of you. His current status is very much a not hostile, but not neutral. Just between hostile and neutral.
Okay.
So, and he's currently definitely suspicious of you as to why you're there. He's like, that's fine and all, but I got orders.
Look, can I talk to the kid? I'll let you search me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you'll find 2 pistols. You can hold on to them while I'm in.
Can't talk to the kid. The kid can barely speak himself.
Can my colleague who assisted the child medically previously attempt to bring him out of his stupor?
You're a doctor? He looks over at you, Mark.
Yep.
You have any?
Yeah, I'm the doctor for the ship.
He's our medic.
What would I have out of character completely?
What do you have on you?
Just my hand terminal and pistol and usual stuff.
Would you have any references to like your time in the military?
Yeah,
records,
sure.
like
Something on the hand
military
terminal.
ID or something like that. All right.
Yeah, if I had one, I'd definitely have it with me.
Okay. Give me a communications check
Sure.
for this.
Communication. Pop up and ask me that I did here. Submit. And secret submit.
Wow, you are social. So you you walk up and show him your hand terminal, and on there is your military ID, MCRN, shows that you're a trained paramedic or medic, and your reference. What do you say to him as you're telling that?
I'd like to check on him, just make sure he's okay, because only I would know what he's had, because he had it from our ship. So I'd like to take care of him.
All right, you can go. But you, Arthur, you're staying here. Okay, he lets you into the door, Mark.
Okay.
So inside you see Kai. He's not bound. He's completely just kind of like just laying there. You can see him go, get out of this place.
You want to leave?
Monita is going to looks at you and goes, Monita, is that you?
Yes. Do you want to come with me?
I mean, sure. I don't want to go back home.
Yeah, we can take you back home if you want to go back home.
Yeah, let's go home. Let's go home.
All right.
Get up, and he just kind of like goes. I'm just go.
I help him. I don't let him fall.
All right, you help him up.
Walk to the door and open the door and tell the guard, listen, it's up to you, man, but he wants to go with us.
Yeah, I want to go home, Monita. Let's go home, Monita. I don't want to be in Ganymede anymore.
I also I pull up the sort of contract on for what we're doing on the terminal. It's like, we are contracted to bring him back to his parents. He's asking to go home.
Okay, give me a communications check.
Yeah.
Which one of us, or both?
You both can do it.
Okay.
+1 in communication, which I don't think I did last time. Okay. 1 and secret. Nope, that's nigh impossible. Secret, please.
Okay. So yeah, he relents a little and goes, before you go, I'm going to call it into bull. And so he kind of pulls open his hand terminal and gives it a call, and you hear him talking. Goes, yeah, it's me. Those people you arrested, they're here looking for the kid. They say he wants to go home. Kid's still doped up as fuck, but they have a contract. Johnson. You're saying, no, I get you. It's just looks at you guys and yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'd rather not be in this place. Stinks anyways. Sure. Yeah. Okay. See you in the office. He hangs up. Goes, here's yours. Just try not to cause any more amputations. Whatever
Again,
you do.
that was our
That
colleague.
wasn't either of us.
Whatever, man. Good luck. And he kind of puts his hand terminal away and walks like brushes by you and walks out. So you now have Kai.
Yeah, we're gonna take him back to the ship.
They get back to the ship.
And he's gonna go back to sleep.
Oh, actually, before you do that, we're gonna add some lock codes. You should get the cocktail for our guard friend.
I intended to. That's definitely getting done.
Give me a security check for those lock codes. I want to see how well you lock this place down.
I think I actually have some
Security. Yeah, I think you have security. So
that's in technology
or
intelligence.
It should be under intelligence, I believe. Let me double check.
Intelligence, security. Still learning this new character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Where are my focuses listed?
They're under. Their focuses should be under the actual. You have to hit the plus minus.
Yeah.
It should be under intelligence security. I can see it right there to the right.
Okay, yeah. Right, I have current affairs and security because of my history. So I'll hit security, and intelligence is 1, focus adds 2, 3, submit, and secret. Submit.
Okay. And stun points. You have a lot of stun points. For those, and we had this question to end up on one of the videos. And for those of you guys who don't know, stunt points are generated by doubles. And if you use, so for instance, if the first die was 1 and the drama die was 1, it would still be a stunt point because those count as those add as stunt points. And whatever the drama die is, so if you get doubles like 2 1s, in this case he got a 6 for his drama die, it means he gets 6 stunt points. And these points can be used towards specific feats in different areas: social, chase, melee weapons, ranged weapons. Pretty much any action in the game has a stunt associated with it. So
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what type of stunt would go well with this one. Like
probably
I don't. Yeah, like investigation, I think has some technology stunts in it. Stunts. I'm not seeing anything off the top of my head, so I won't take the time with it.
Okay.
I'll just take the 14.
Okay.
I also, after setting the new security codes, make sure to essentially email them to the rest of the crew.
So you set the new security codes for the entirety of the ship, and you sent it to the rest of the crew. It's pretty good. You think you might have been better if it wasn't for the fucking hangover? You're just like,
yeah.
You went through some encryptions that you've been learning, and you were like, how was it like that, or like this? It's like, fuck, I just do the old one, and you do like an older like standby, but one that very few people outside of Earth would even recognize. Stuff that you'd use on your own personal encryption. Something would take a while to crack. As you know, and not everything is foolproof. It just takes time.
Yep.
I can't wait for Jada to come back and laugh at it.
Hopefully he checks his email. Otherwise, he's gonna have to hack through.
You would not have emailed it to him while his hand terminal is in the custody of security, would you?
I mean, if anybody's hand terminal is password protected and encrypted, it's his.
It's gonna be Jata's.
Okay. Fair enough.
So let's cut back to Sloan and Pierce. Mark, you were gonna get the cocktail for him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take him 2 vials of it. A little bit watered down from what we gave the kid, not terribly. Still quite effective, but won't cause him to completely go unconscious like what we have the kid on.
He looks at it. You go give it to him. What do you say to him when you do it?
I say, listen, that kid should stay on this ship for his own safety. Don't use these while you're on duty. And I don't know where you got them from.
I don't know where I got them from either, man. Thank you. He looks at it and goes,
Well,
It looks at the label and goes, holy shit, man. This is like the shit they put people on for, like, they don't break their bones during high G. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Thank you. He puts it in his pocket.
You're welcome.
He goes back to standing guard. With that, we're gonna cut.
I actually
Go ahead.
I want to wander off and find the engineer that was doing the torpedo work.
Okay.
I have a new request.
All right, you go find the engineer, and we're gonna cut back to Sloan and Pierce. Sloan and Pierce, what are you guys doing?
Oh, no audio.
I'm hearing.
Just hearing clicks.
It's got a nice beat to it, though.
Yeah. Nope, still clicks.
Nope, same.
Absolutely no audio issues on this show ever.
Ever. Yes, ever.
Never have.
Technologically perfect.
I expect to see that in the top comments too, on the YouTube page.
Try completely unplugging the mic and plugging it back in.
Yeah, that might help.
Turn it off and back on.
Actually, while it's unplugged, before you plug
It
it
only
back
works
in,
on Nintendo cartridges.
unmute yourself and we'll see if we still have the clicking. Because that'll tell us. Okay,
Yes.
Still clicking.
still clicking. So
Restart your
also,
mixer.
yeah.
She is a mantis.
Unplug the mic and plug it back in from the mixer side as well.
Yeah. Try unmuting it while it's unplugged. Yeah, we can still hear the clicking. That's definitely your
Okay.
mixer.
And then yeah, like unplug the power on the mixer and plug it back in, I guess. And hope. Fingers crossed. Hello?
Maybe.
Hello.
Audio.
I think my power cord got just a little bit loose.
Okay.
Maybe that's what my problem's been lately. Who knows? Need to tape that thing in there or something with some gaff.
Nice. We can
All right.
hear you now.
Thanks. I'm glad I went through that. So I know now that's the power that's doing that.
Sloan and Pierce, what are you guys doing?
Scratching my head.
Yeah, let's see. So we've been checking all the stuff that he had, like basically his computer. I uploaded copies of his computer stuff, his hard drive, I guess, to his terminal to the ship, or at least to my hand terminal for now. If I, whatever. It's probably safer just to do it to my hand terminal and upload it in the ship directly later. So we'll just keep it there. And we've already questioned her. I kind of look at Pierce and just go, I mean, can you think of anything else we should do here before we...
I mean, not necessarily. I haven't learned too much.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a little bit here and there. I mean, he did have a relationship with the girl, not a relationship, but you know what I mean? Like, they knew each other pretty good, and they worked together.
There's one thing we learned from all of this, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's that she's clueless.
Yeah, a little bit. But hopefully in here we'll have like some contacts and people he deals with. I mean, especially other people that are on that team, because if the life support team is disappearing, then something's going on there.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start with asking some other people on that team.
That might be an idea.
So yeah, DM. Sorry, Paul. I'll call every DM.
Okay.
DM. So, are there any like notable names on there that's on that team?
I mean, all of them are notable. The team is definitely,
As far as like who between the two of them, who they've been talking to the most, like him and Anna.
based
Like
on
if
the
there's any
information.
shared emails.
No, I mean, other than like their team is fairly big, and they were some
Right.
project leads.
So there's a lot of overlap.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, who's the next? Like, who would be the highest ranking outside of possibly the two of them on that team? Like, is there anybody?
A couple of doctors. Ronaldo is a name that's probably the one.
I remember you saying that one earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she's gonna point out, like, maybe we should go see this Ronaldo.
All right. Sure thing.
And then, as they're like before they leave, she's obviously gonna go to the lady Fiona, I believe was her name. and say, so Fiona, can you tell us anything about like where we could find Ronaldo? He seems to be like a higher up in that. We just wanted to speak to him. Do you know where he is or where to find him generally?
She shrugs. Probably his office.
Okay. And where is that exactly?
The VU project, probably by the temple, by the church.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. If anything comes up that seems relevant in any way, here, and I'd make sure she has contact for me at least, like for my terminal. So I just tell her, yeah, just let me know if anything, if you think of anything or anything else pops in your brain. I'm obviously not going to bother your children, but if they do or say anything that seems relevant too, let us know.
Will do. Thank you.
So, and then I look at Pierce and I'm just like, you ready?
Yep.
All right. We're off to find Ronaldo, the wonderful wizard of Mormon. No.
So you go to the church. It's not too far away. It's about a 30-minute hike to get to the project headquarters.
Okay.
And you walk over, and it's pretty sparse. There's not a lot of people on duty. You probably will remember that the Nauvoo is still missing. It's still been after Johnson hijacked it. It's still off somewhere else, and they've yet to recover it because they've got to get like teams together to go recover it and all that kind of stuff. So there's not a lot of people actively working. Some people there to collect a paycheck, other there to kind of work on some software. It looks like, but there's not a lot of active, folks there.
Right.
So you see a kind of a bored-looking, looks like it's a Martian, older guy at the front desk. Kind of looks at you coming up and goes, "How can I help you?"
Yeah, we'd like to see Ronaldo if at all possible.
Dr. Chang? Is
Yes.
what you're talking about?
I believe so. He's on the life support team for.
Yeah, sure. I think he's in. He goes over and looks at his, kind of carefully, just types into his terminal.
He's just tired. He just like, this guy's just worn out, right? Like
he's just bored. He looks bored as shit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like doing it like because I'm thinking they don't drink coffee. No wonder.
And he goes, and then you see like a face comes up and you see a voice come in and goes, "Yes, Dr. Chang, you got some visitors here." You hear this, visitors? Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just two people here. Do you get their names? What are your names?
Sloan and Pierce.
Say Sloan and Pierce. Because I don't know any fucking Sloan or Pierces. I don't know, man. You can go and deal with it or whatever, but I'll be up there. He goes, all right. He hangs up and kind of leans back in his chair. Goes, Dr. Chang will be with you.
Thank you very much. What was your name?
Jake.
Thank you, Jake. I hope your day gets a little more exciting.
I
kind of wink at him.
I hope not.
Right
after about 5 minutes or so, you see a tall, slender man, dark complexion, show up and looks at you and goes, "I'm Dr. Ronaldo Chang. You're Pearson Sloan. How can I help you?"
Is there anywhere we could speak a little more privately? I just wouldn't want any. About what's his name? Shoot, I forgot his name off the top of my head. The guy.
Keep writing these down because you need to remember.
I have it somewhere. I have him written down. Dr. Sari? Is that what it was?
Yes, his name is Dr. Sari. Yeah.
Sari. Sorry, I have it written down. I was just like, I gotta find it.
Cerri. Sari. Yeah.
Cerri. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. I had it spelled wrong.
Teo Sari. And he goes, "What about Dr. Sari?"
Well, we've been asked by the church to help maybe get any information we can about what's happened to him and Anna.
He shrugs and he's, "I can't help you. I don't know the man. There's some social issues. The people you're going to want to talk to are security. They're the ones who have all the information. They have the footage of everything.
No,
I don't know what's going on."
We will get that information, but we would like to talk to people who work with him because obviously your team's being picked off here. So we need to, if there's anything we can help do to prevent that.
Rolls his eyes. not picked off, probably poached. I don't know why Sari left. Maybe he's in home. I don't know. I don't know the man beyond the persona he gave at work and outside.
But what if they're being poached forcibly? I mean, that's a bit of an issue.
It's not my business.
Can't tell you. It is.
No. He kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Talk to security," and then walks back to his office.
Try to roll a persuade. No.
Go for it. Give me a persuasion.
Oh hell yeah! Do I have a persuasion?
You can do it because you've got improvisation.
Improvisation, yeah.
So
I'll just roll. What would that fall under? Is communication?
Communication.
Oh, I actually have persuasion. There it is. I found it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was like, I knew I had it.
You have bonuses to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have that. So submit, and then secret. Okay. I wish that was right at the top. That would be nice if secret was right at the top.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you say? What do you say to stop him? And what stunt points? What do you want to use for stunts?
I'm gonna say
stunts. Remember.
Oh shoot, yeah. Let me pull that card out. I should pull that out before we got started. But for now, I'll just use the general persuade and just say that, aren't you scared that somebody might come after a guy like you too? I mean, would it not help all of us and even yourself quite a bit and your own team, people you work with?
Okay.
That you tell us.
Give me some general social stunts as well.
Yeah. Where's that card? Expanse. Where's my reference card? Sorry, guys. I don't mean to. I should have had this stuff open. Professional role player.
By the way, chat, thank you guys for watching. Those of you in chat. And those of you watching or listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, thank you for watching.
Arigato.
We appreciate it.
Social. Wait.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. Tell them because we're cool.
And tell them to tell their friends.
Exactly. Especially if you're
and they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends.
Well, I don't think there's another Expanse RPG game that's being run like this that I know of.
It's gonna form kind of a triangle shape.
God, why, Adobe? Stop being rude to me. It just shut it down. It literally just shut my Jesus. Can somebody pull a social stuff up? I have three.
Page 109. I'm on it right now.
Thank you.
I can give you the list real quick.
Yeah, sorry. My stuff's being goofy.
So you've got Impress, which is gain +1 per SP spent on your next social test. You can do 1 to 3. That's just a core 1. You can, depending on how many you spend. Cards on the table. If you were completely honest when making this test, your target must be completely honest in the next social test. Making an entrance. This is your first action and encounter. You gain +1 to your next opposed roll against them. Because you're beautiful. You have that that naturally as well. You can do that at any time, or you can make it at any time, even though it's not your first action.
Yeah, we'll just, and I have that one. Yeah, we'll just go. I mean, I'm just grab one for me and we'll do it. Whatever you think. Okay. Just because I'm like, whatever.
We'll just not use the stunts right now. So
yeah, that's fine.
He stops as you say that and turns around and sighs and goes, "Come to my office," and walks towards the office.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. So we go with him.
So you guys walk into his office. It's pretty sterile. There's a cross. There's some images on the wall. All recreations of paintings. He sits down at his desk and looks over you from the other side of the desk and goes, "What do you want to know?"
We just want to know how well you knew this guy. I don't necessarily need to know exactly what he was working on, but if there is something about what he was working on that you think would be valuable to other people, explain that, walk us through that a little bit. Anything.
Life support is one of the most important things out here. Anybody wants life support. Life support is anything from keeping people alive to barely keeping people alive. Pretty much every belter and worth their salt knows about life support. Born and raised in a vacuum, so life support's the only thing that's keeping them breathing. So yeah, it's pretty fucking valuable around here. As far as someone possibly taking them, I don't know who would want to take them, but if they did, it's got to be something big. You don't just take one of the leading researchers in biochemistry and actual leading biochemists and neuropsychologists in the belt. Whatever it is, if you're saying someone took him forcibly against his will, then it's got to be some big project. It has to do with biology and neuropsychology. I mean, one of his pet projects was things like cryosleep. Can't even get cryosleep to work properly. But that was one of his things he wanted to do on the side. Insanity. Never going to work. Not with the tech we got.
And was he somebody that do you know if he was being headhunted by other organizations specifically?
No. I mean, if he was, he never told anybody.
Because I believe Anna was. Anna was people were interested in Anna, correct?
That's the first thing I've heard.
Oh.
I mean, that's what we assume. She was bored. She didn't like this project. I mean, she's doesn't have a family.
Be right back.
Okay. She designs environmental systems for a living, and pretty much by the time she left, the Nauvoo systems were already done. They could support life. Her job was mostly just beta testing, working out the kinks. That's not exactly something you want to do if you're, designing life support systems for, the Martian Navy before this.
Did either of them give you any impression that that anything odd was going on with them? Was there anything out of the ordinary for either person before they disappeared?
I mean, other than Anna, everyone thought that she was going to leave. That was months before she actually left. No, nothing really.
I'm trying to think of anything else to ask him. Has there been any kind of odd folks or newer folks that have given you any that you don't know that well that have come into this project as of late, like before they disappeared, and like anything new going on as far as people, things?
I mean, we get people coming and going all the time, just the nature of the project, but no one new, no one odd. I mean, everyone who's been working on the environmental systems, environmental life support systems have been pretty much same people from the beginning. I mean, I think Anna was hired a little bit later, but she was hired straight out of the dockyards. I mean, they poached her from the Martian Navy. She was building environmental systems or tweaking the environmental systems for Donager class battleships. And it's not a job you walk away from. The church offered her a lot of influence or a lot of money or both to come over here.
Did the guy I keep forgetting, or whatever his name was, the guy, Dr. Suri, did he have any military ties before this?
No, he's always worked for the church. I mean, he's done systems on bases before, but he's always been with the church.
What bases?
Done Luna, helping to improve that. He did some lab work in a Martian, Olympus Mons, I think. He did some work on Ceres for a private firm. Rumors that he worked on Ganymede for a bit, but nothing substantial. He's been on this project for probably the last 10 years.
Okay, can we get a possible record of his past work history if you have it? Unless I already have that DM from his thing.
You already have it from him.
Okay.
He's like, you'd have it in his personal files.
Right,
as well.
right. Okay. Does he have any? Is there anybody he associates with on a regular basis that is especially in this group?
Take
I
your
mean,
pick.
I've heard he's friends with everybody. He was really
Yeah.
popular. But is there anybody in common that he and Anna shared that they were pretty they I know Anna wasn't as social based on what I can find, but was there anybody they both particularly overlapped with a lot?
Then me and maybe a couple of other the main researchers. No, not really. And we only mostly they really very rarely interacted out of work. I mean, Sari would bring one of us over to dinner just about every other week. Anna would very rarely go with them. She just doesn't not fond of social events, especially with Mormons. I don't know why. She always attended services, but
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get, and if I don't have any of Anna's actual terminal information, so I haven't done that yet, but I'd like to, if that's okay, we'd like to get maybe her, if you have any resumes or any of her information in your system, if that's possible.
I'll give you a resume, but I'm not going to be able to give her
That's fine.
private files.
Yeah, that's fine. Resume's fine.
Oh, cool. And pulls it up on his terminal and then swipes it over to your terminal and goes, there you go.
Right. Okay, cool. And we take it. If Pierce is back, are you back, Haven?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, I'm gonna look at you and just kind of do the same thing. Like you got anything on your mind to
Seem
ask?
a whole lot better at this investigation stuff than I am. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm good for one thing, at least mostly one thing, and that's swanging.
You're the muscle.
The brawn.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as a role play, as a player, I just can't think of anything else to go off of right now. And so I'll just kind of get all that from him and just say, do you think there's anybody else around here that might know or want to tell us something of any kind other than security?
He talks to the docks. I mean, he walked through the docks often. A lot of people knew him. He's friends with everybody. Like I don't think there's a single person who would want to harm him.
Yeah, he's well liked.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He knew some dock workers working around, some of the engineers who come through. I think he's probably best buddies with Johnson at this point. I have no idea.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for everything. Unless Pierce here had anything to say or think of, I think that'll be it for us. And we got just out of character. We got Anna's like apartment, right? Like that's they told us where that was, correct?
Her apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you look at it in registries. It's not locked down. It's already been re-rented.
Oh, okay. So it's just yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, what about her stuff? Was her stuff taken by anybody?
Her stuff wasn't picked up. It was destroyed. It was recycled.
Messed up. Dang.
Well, they assumed that she left on her own, and she didn't want to she didn't lose face or something like that. So they don't know why she left her stuff, but it was quite well known to everyone that she was bored. So
yeah. So they for them it wasn't an alarming thing when she just disappeared. It was started to be alarming when the other guy went Doc 3. Okay. All right. So gather all that up from him and just I don't know. I mean, I look at Pierce and I say, can you think of any place like we should go look around at other than like just hitting these people up? Because I mean, he said this doc stuff, but I'm just feeling like maybe we should regroup with the others or something.
Definitely meet up with them, let them know what we found out, and maybe hit the docks after that. Ask around a bit.
Yeah, maybe regroup with the others. Besides, we've probably been how long we've been out DM? Like probably an hour or two at least.
Hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're probably like ready to eat something. I mean, we did just have like a couple hours long of being arrested. I mean,
stuck in a room.
That's him.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you guys head back to the ship.
Yeah. Shit. We get back to the shit, man.
Back to the ship, man. You go back to the ship. There's the guard is still there. He kind of nods as you guys enter. Mark, Cass, what were you doing in the meantime?
I'm going to be.
So I had wandered off to find that engineer.
Okay, yeah, you're finding that engineer. Cass, what were you doing in the meantime?
I'm staying at the ship to wait for Kai to come out of his stupor. And I'm sending
He's not
a couple.
Gonna come out of his stupor. There is no chance of that.
Mark doped him the fuck up.
Dang it. Well, I'm definitely sending a couple of messages. One, I'm sending a message to Benji to get both a name and a description of the person who's supposed to be picking Kai up. Because at this point, the kid's been kidnapped 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm also sending a message to Fred Johnson's office. I assume I don't have his personal information, but essentially basically saying, hey, you're the one saying you want to illegitimize the OPA as a real government entity and not terrorists. Do something about the clinics on this fucking station.
Okay.
And specifically, I send him the details of the clinic we went to.
Okay. Mark, you're going off to find the engineer.
Yes.
Okay. So you go off to find the engineer, and it's fairly easy to find them. You know, you've been seeing where they've been pulling their stuff out. You see them like bringing out some like pallets of torpedoes that they're about to like load into the ship, and kind of make sure things. And you see and go, oh, Mr. Finch, how can I help you?
I have another modification I'd like to have done to the ship, but kind of wanted an engineer's take on it.
Sure. What do you want?
So apparently our crew has recently found themselves on more than one occasions having to deal with combatants at the dock. So I'm looking for something kind of anti-personnel when we're docked.
Like a turret?
Yeah, a turret would be nice.
Yeah, simple enough. You want non-lethal or lethal?
Can you give me one of each?
Yeah, it's going to cost you, though.
How much?
Ought to gain 15 total is the score you have to beat for...
Okay, well, let me try for that, and if not, then I'll shoot for 1.
One would be half. It would be 7 if it was just 1, but it'll be 15 for both of them.
Okay, so just roll income.
Yep, roll income, and add your modifier. You just click on the income, then it should automatically add your modifier.
Should I just set target to 14 just to?
Yes.
Or just leave it? Okay.
Oh, damn, son. Barely made that one. All right, so you have to reduce your modifier, your income to 3 because you succeeded. Yep. But it's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
Probably not increase the time either, just to get some more boys on it. Just send the money to the offices and get it for you too. Now, I do have to tell you that we will have to register this with Taco, and Taco will register this with the system itself because
sure,
just it's no much bigger than the fact that you're adding a missile torpedo bay over back of your ship, but it's still important. No
Yep.
Taco security needs to know these things if you show up at the dock and you have a turret inside your airlock.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's start wandering my way back to the ship.
Okay. So you actually make it back to the ship before they arrive.
Okay.
And you see Cass making messages. Cass, you get a message back from Johnson saying he'll deal with it. And then you also get as Sloan and Pierce are arriving, you get a message from Benji, way back from Benji. You were just giving him an update on everything, or you wanted to know what the guy looks like?
Name and description so that I make sure we're not handing the kid off to the wrong person.
So he gives you a name, and the name is just James, but he gives you a picture, and the picture is of full body, looks like he's a belter, tall, skinny, very little hair. Looks like he looks like he's in his 40s, but his frame says that he's much younger. Like he looks older than his age. Very lithe, not so good clothing, like a ragged vest, just a t-shirt, some pants, some like cargo pants. Just says James, and with that.
All right. Well, picture's worth 1,000 words. So.
Alrighty. What do you two do when you guys come in?
Who, Chris and I, when we walk in?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Definitely let them know what's been going on.
Hold on one
yeah,
second.
it's like
We're having some serious problems right now. Everything seems to be slowing down. So
No.
give me. Why don't we go on break real quickly, and then we'll try to bring it back. So don't go anywhere, guys.
All right, sounds good.
Time. What do you tell them once you guys get back to the ship?
like the whole thing, like what we did, where we went. We show them the terminal information that we downloaded from the guy. Just literally, I mean, y'all probably heard most of what happened as players, and if you didn't, just let me know. We'll figure out where you're missing information. But yeah, we just talked to these people, and everybody wasn't surprised when Anna disappeared. They were surprised when Dr. Sari disappeared, because he, in particular, is very well loved by this whole Mormon community and well known to them. So it was a surprise, but people do suspect that they were just, a lot of them seem to be under the impression they went on to another job, essentially, but they didn't understand why Dr. Sari would do that, because he's been with them for 10 years. And what was that one thing we found out about them? There was one, shit. But yeah, that was about it. And then they were both important. I mean, her job was mostly done, what she wanted to do. And she was bored, like we figured out before. That's really all we got so far. Just kind of the same information, just with more detail.
Okay. So you guys are on the ship. You have a doped up kid. You're waiting for this other guy to show up at one point. He's 19, but
Yeah. We got the kid back. That's what we did.
Yes.
I'm not going to mention what I did. I'm just going to wait until they notice it.
And you guys all have you've just got basically a briefing cast on, like, you're looking for two scientists involved in the Nauvoo project who've disappeared. One disappeared because whatever, they thought that she was good for someone else, and then the other one, they don't know why he disappeared. They've been trying to find people. So,
All right then.
Should we be forwarding some of this information to Fred Johnson? I sort of asked the rest of you. I mean, he did want to know what's up, but maybe
Yes.
he might have relevant information pertaining to any of this.
He might know.
Well, he did say this was the first he'd heard of missing scientists. I mean, sure. Keep the man in the loop. Friends in high places and all that.
So I'm not going to send him every bit of information. Like, I'm not going to send him the guy's terminal, but I'm definitely going to, I'm going to give him a summary, kind of the same summary I gave the crew, and send it to him just in, bullet points. Like, here's what we know so far. Please let us know if you suspect anything of anyone. And I'm going to particularly go over that guy and that girl's job histories and see if anything overlaps.
Nothing overlaps.
Okay.
They've worked in different places this entire time.
Okay. But they both worked on Martian military stuff, right?
No. He worked on Mars, but not with Martian military. He was working with a biotech company in Mars, and that was like when he was before Anna was born.
Right.
He's from Earth originally, but he got a lot of work on Luna. It was his first job, and then he worked on Mars, and then he worked on some on Ceres, and there's a rumor that he worked on Ganymede before he worked on the Naboo project.
And I'm going to include in Fred the email to Fred Johnson or whatever it would be called in this situation. Do you know of anybody that's particularly in obviously shopping for some kind of support system, advances or things, leads, and, send that off.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What do you guys want to do next?
I asked them, since they found the kid, y'all found the kid. How'd that go? I mean, was it easy? Was it what do you, anything?
It was pretty
new?
easy.
They all
Casted all the talking, and you know how well that works out.
Any news? Anything else?
Kid wants to go home. No, our definition of home for him might be different than his definition, but kid wants to go home.
Sure, but do we know anything? Are we gonna drop him somewhere eventually, or what?
Benji's
New information.
Culpepper's agent is gonna be showing up sometime in the next day or so.
Okay.
Got a name and a photograph, so
That's good. We'll ID the guy if we can.
his name is James. He looks like this.
No, okay, I look at the picture.
Disheveled vest, plain t-shirt, cargo pants, boots. Looks like he's in his 40s, but his frame and everything else tells you that he's in his 20s.
Yeah, I wrote some of that down for that, just for my own stuff. But yeah, I got it. Sir, yeah, she's like, all right, cool. I know what he looks like. Make sure, I guess, the rest of us that weren't there, especially Pierce too, make sure we all know his face so we know what we're looking for in case we run into him individually. And I just kind of look at the others to say, all hungry?
Always.
All right. And
I could go for a bite.
I make us up a very well-deserved lunch or dinner or dunch, whatever you want to call it.
Dunch. Okay.
Early
There's
dinner.
no time and space.
There's no time and space.
Whoa, sorry guys.
I get the same thing. You and I both got the same thing.
It's an Amber Alert.
Yep. Like literally, as you said, whoa! My phone was going off too, so I thought you were talking about me. Sloan and I both live in Texas, just to give you guys a heads up.
And for those of you who do live in Texas, Black Hyundai Elantra 2003. So if you're out there, guys, look for that. Yep. KYR 4562. That's the license plate. Keep your eyes out, guys.
Yep. Okay, so.
Indeed.
All right, so what were we at? So that thing ruined my concentration.
Sorry. I was making lunch for everybody real quick.
Yes, lunch. You make lunch. It's good. Passable. I was trying to see if there was a skill for
check.
that. Yeah. Abilities.
Leadership. No.
Yeah.
Improvisation.
Crafting. There we go. Crafting.
Yeah, I'll improvise it.
Dexterity. It's just dexterity.
Okay. I figured. I had a feeling it was dexterity. I was like, for some reason, dexterity seems appropriate.
For some reason, under science, they don't have cooking.
Yeah, because it's not like you're good at it. Like technique was one thing, but science kind of covers technique and the thought behind it. So I'm gonna roll a secret. Man, I wish secret was right at the top of that. Ooh, I did I got stunt points for it.
Jeez, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what the cooking stunt points are.
General social
Flipping
stunts.
the pan,
I had the social sense open here. Let's see. I do I flip the flapjacks really fancy like.
You could flirt with the food. Roll communication seduction versus your target's willpower.
The food is lovely.
So you make a fantastic meal that everyone enjoys.
Yay!
It looks good and it tastes great. After the meal, you guys have all feel nourished and less tired after spending a hell of a day on Tycho.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Four and a
been-
half stars.
It's been like 2 days, I think, at this point, almost. You guys still haven't taken an extended break yet, so you guys are getting kind of. No, you passed out. You did pass out after drinking. So it's been 2 days on Tycho.
Oh
So,
man.
what do you guys want to do now after you've had a dunner, linner, or whatever?
Dungeons.
He's done.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing. I'm gonna catch myself up on what's going on with the Mormons. But
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were pretty out of the loop with that.
yeah, since
Yep.
we've
So yeah, I'll explain to him how that all started yesterday. That we overheard the guys at the bar or whatever, the Mormon guys really stressing out about something. We sort of not really butt in, but we kind of just I played a song and they came up to us and approached us and then it went from there. So I let them know like the what was it, brother? It was like Apostle Birch and I forget the brother's name, but brother something.
Yeah.
They kind of enlisted us to help them with it. And so they gave us the names and they told us these 2 people went missing. It was like 2 or 3 months apart. Like the girl went missing first and then the guy went missing. And the girl was like not very social. Like it kind of made sense. She was getting bored with her job. But the guy, he had like this whole thing going on. He had a wife, kids, like everything. There's no, it's suspect that he disappeared. It's weird.
and
But-
our contract with Culpepper allows independent
Yes.
work.
Yeah, since we're stuck here anyway, we thought we would make a little extra cash. And then, of course, Fred Johnson obviously got involved, which you were there for. So that
Yep.
should be most of it to catch you up. And I kind of look at the others and I'm like, yeah. Y'all got any ideas what to do next? Anybody good at investigating?
I can.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have. Oof.
Not really.
I have intelligence, security, and current affairs, but not investigation.
Current affairs, like, how do you say that in character? Like, oh, I'm up on current affairs, like.
Knowledge of politics, newsworthy events, popular culture. It's like, I can check the feeds and see if there's any public projects going on that might need experts of that caliber.
Yeah, maybe even figure out like on those specific 2 people, like if there's any relevant information that seems, or any news of somebody that's like of a project. Yeah, like you said, a project that's like really in need of life support, or what? 'Cause these 2 people specifically were in the life support thing. That was their on Nova. That's right, what it's called, Nova. Or Nauvoo. But yeah, they see if you can find anything out about anybody searching out for jobs. What was the name? When we looked in that girl's stuff, like she was getting headhunted. Did she have she had those messages, right? Can I like give him those messages to show him and see if he can find out who the people are that wanted her are about?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. There you go. See if you can
Cool.
find anything out about that.
I look into that.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and try. I'm trying to figure out, because now I'm seeing that there's none of the audio is being broadcast from the Roll20 at all. So
Wow.
yeah, this has been my experience with
Yeah, I'm not hearing any audio from it either. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm hearing Roll20 audio, but
Yeah.
I have to turn my volume way up to get it. It's actually just really quiet. So if you've got it If you've got
Oh,
it turned down in any way.
Oh, and I'm not capturing audio from that computer, so that's why I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's actually active. Okay, now it's hearing.
Yeah, I think it was just too quiet to show up on the waveform. Okay. And secret difficulty.
There you go.
All right, and now let me look at investigation stunts. Because I got 6 stunt points again.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm bad at keeping my tabs organized. Urbanized. Investigation.
All right. So you did an investigation. Intelligence current affairs.
Yeah.
What is that for again?
That is knowledge of where did it go? Politics, newsworthy events, and popular culture. So, like, if there's anything in the public sphere, like things like publicized earnings calls for corporations, things like that, for people for projects that seem like this skill set would be relevant to the point where they'd be trying to steal experts, basically.
Okay. So you are able to get some information. You find a organization that has been calling for experts in biotech.
Really quick.
Yeah.
I do have 6 stunt points.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm going to use the lucky break stunt, which is that this test leads fortuitously to putting 2 and 2 together later. Treat one irrelevant focus as tangential on the next test I make to unlock a lead related to this test. So if I make a good test later, something I learned here will help with that.
Okay. So, excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
And none of the other ones really make sense, except for maybe Aha, which I'll spend the other 3 stunt points on that, which if the next test I make to follow up on this, I'll get an additional 3-point bonus of 3. So it doesn't affect the results you're giving me now, but these will affect future tests.
You see a specific call for a type of bioengineer, which was very briefly mentioned a while back, like about a year or 2 before the first doctor disappeared, which matches the field that that they were in, from a company called Hope Sanchez Shipping.
Shipping company asking for that kind of level. That seems not normal. That a shipping company would be asking for something, looking for somebody with that high of a skill set.
You recognize the name of it, though. Pope Sanchez Shipping is run by partially owned by a guy by the name of
Rick Sanchez. No,
Sebastian Pope. He is a very, very wealthy man. He's up there with, like, Pope Sanchez Shipping is like a major competitor to Malquick trade concerns. Like, and since Malquick has been taken down after the events of Eros, and Jules Pierre Mao has been on the run. The shipping company, Pope Sanchez, has just been booming. So he was rich before. Now he's filthy rich.
All right.
That name very much, and he's always been talked about. He's always there's some records that you've realized, and like he's one of those like Elon Musk type guys. Like he wants to live on another planet, just not on impact. Wants to die on another planet, just not on impact, kind of thing. He wants to leave. One of his dreams is to leave the solar system.
Gotcha.
So he's been a big supporter of like the Naboo project, not financially, but like publicly, talking about it and how we should build more Naboos in the future.
And the timing with Eros and the first scientist going missing, what's the timing there?
It's been about a year, 2 years.
Oh, well, no, not the posting of the job, but the Eros incident and everything going wrong with.
This was 2 years after. So the Eros incident happened 2 years before this posting showed up, and it's been a year. It was a little over a year since that posting, because it was put up and then taken down pretty quickly, and then there was been about a year, a little more than a year since the first scientist disappeared, and it's been 3 weeks since the last scientist disappeared.
Gotcha. So I find it on the Wayback Machine.
Yes.
Okay. This is where I wish I had Jata. I was gonna say I want to. I don't think any of my focuses are relevant, so I wouldn't even be able to try this. But to see if there's any record of these people actually leaving the station.
You can try.
The closest focus I have would be security.
Give me a security check.
Okay. Submit and secret.
Yeah, you find some information, but most of it is publicly available feeds, security feeds, but not all of it is really available. What you find, though, is on the day, you're looking at the day that they disappeared.
Yeah, for the day and like the surrounding couple of days for when each of them disappeared, to just see if there's any, like, again, record of them actually leaving the station.
There's no record of them leaving the station, but you do find some publicly available like video feeds that have been posted. Not just like people keeping records for long-term storage kind of thing. Most of it is noise, though you do see the day before that you recognize a name on one of the docks. You're going through some of these feeds back and forth to kind of see if there's any kind of records, and you're looking through some of these videos, see if you can find him. You don't see him, but on the day of, you do see that nearby his route to his home is a port specifically for Pope Sanchez shipping. A docking port.
Okay. Well, I think that they are our next major lead then. I relay this information to the team.
Okay. You guys hear all this information. What do you guys want to do next?
I look at you guys.
You say we go for it.
Well, how do we go for it with Pope Sanchez? I mean, they're a corporation. Do we pretend to be? Do we do something a little stealthy, or are we just going to go outright and be like, "I think I got the guys"? I mean, obviously, that's not the way we want to do.
All right.
You know, some of this stuff might be on record. Unfortunately, they're a shipping company, so they probably have a lot of ships leaving pretty regularly. But if we focus on the ships that left that day or the day after, we might see if we can find published routes.
Okay, that's a good start. So we need to find their route records and manifests, if at all possible. Maybe we research, like, Pope Sanchez. Is this a company or is this a person?
Pope Sanchez is the company.
I'm asking in character, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pope Sanchez is the company. It's run by the name Sebastian Pope. There we go. Couldn't remember Sebastian.
Sebastian Pope. Okay. And And I guess do you have him up? Do you have like a terminal up about him or something?
Yeah, he's basically space Elon Musk.
Yeah, no, I know. I know out of character. I'm just trying.
Yeah, I've
yeah.
got the whole thing. Absolutely.
So, and she kind of looks it over, and so she's gonna take note of the fact that he's kind of one of these people that has this dream to leave the system. That's sort of in a way like, what's the philosophy behind that? Is he like a unifying type of person, or is he just like more? I just have like the business interest in it. Like, is it more like a, yeah, like come together as humanity to do better, or is it more of a let's just go see what the hell's out there kind of person?
In the middle of this conversation, you hear like the comm open or comm request open, just like dring, dring from the front door.
Is there a way to check who's at the front door?
Yeah, there's cameras, exterior cameras you can pull up.
Yeah, pull up a cam.
So on the camera, you see the guard with his assault rifle. He's pushing on like the comm button, and there's a very distraught-looking woman behind him.
What does she look like?
Tall, belter, very young.
We don't know her.
You haven't seen her before.
Okay, is there like a comm panel to kind of buzz at him?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you just do it on your hand terminals as well.
Yeah, buzz at it. Yes, what's up?
Sorry to bother you, but this woman, she says she wants to talk with you. Needs your help. She said something about finding Mormon scientists.
What's your name, ma'am?
She said her name is Nicola.
Are you armed?
Back at her. You armed? She goes,
Will you mind
I don't think so.
You mind checking her, sir? Man,
sighs, goes, yeah, give me a moment. And he pats her down and turns back and presses the comm panel, goes, not armed.
All right, thanks, man. I look at the others after I end comm. I'm like, do y'all mind if we let her in? What do y'all want to do?
This might be what we need, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe
Could be a lucky break.
One of y'all go ahead and just be ready just in case.
Yeah, I got my sledge.
All right.
I head down to
I pick up my trank pistol.
Yeah.
So who's going down to meet her at the dock or in the airlock?
I'll
go.
I don't know if anybody else is coming with me.
Yeah, I'll join you, Cass.
Area if you don't mind when you're done.
Okay, so Cass and Mark head down to the comms area. Like doors open, and the woman walks in, and you guys see her. She's very panicked. It looks like she hasn't slept in a long time. And she looks at you kind of like she's got her arms crossed, and she's like, you're looking for the Mormon scientist, right?
Apparently.
I heard you guys talking. There's a woman and a man talking at the Boo area.
What's your interests?
My boyfriend. He's been missing.
Which one's your boyfriend?
I lean over and shut the airlock behind us.
Pedro going.
What does Pedro do?
He's he works at the docks. He's been missing, but the thing about it, he's been missing for 3 weeks.
Pedro.
Right. Come with
I
us.
heard your I heard your friend talking about a guy missing 3 weeks ago, Mormon scientists, and bring up to the common area. She sits down and kind of looks at you and kind of goes, can you help me?
We'll try. Oh, sorry.
Does your boyfriend work for a specific company?
No, he's just a dock worker. He's worked for a couple different companies. Whoever pays him to unload work.
All right. Does he ever do any work at the independent docks?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that he left early to saying he had a possible lead on a job.
Okay. Did he happen to say where or who this job was with?
Not on top of my head. He just said a job. He's worked with so many different people. It's normal. But I did my own research after he didn't come back. I mean, he's impulsive. He goes to bars, but I know where he goes. I know his friends. He doesn't do this. This isn't him. So I started asking around, and I found out that there are 3 other belters are missing. All belters. They all went missing 3 weeks ago, that day.
Okay.
I was looking around. I've been trying to figure more, and then I overheard someone mentioning about a Mormon scientist missing 3 weeks ago, and your friends, you, ma'am, she looks at you, Sloan, and you, sir, looking at Steve Sledge, talking to the scientist over at the Nuhu Project. I figured maybe you knew some more information I did.
I go over to one of the terminals, like one of the larger terminals, and try and pull the security feeds up again for that day. And it's like, what's
Yeah, walk her through and see if there's anything familiar.
Yeah. I pull up the feed of the area near the Pope Sanchez terminal.
Okay.
And I just sort of run it through at 4x speed.
But before we get too far, and I say this, in character, we got to make sure you are who you say you are, and you're not. No offense, but you might be somebody that's counteracted.
Oh no problem. No problem. She pulls out her ID from my thing I got when I came onto Tycho.
Can I see pictures of you and your boyfriend?
Yeah, and she pulls out her hand terminal and swipes it and shows a picture of him. She says, "I also know the name of at least one of the other ones who's been missing. Her name's Liz Green." She flips it, and this is the picture I got of her.
Are y'all friends with her?
No, I don't know her. I never met her before this whole thing happened.
Okay.
Her wife was looking for her, couldn't find her.
Okay, can you forward me that any media, social medias, or anything they have, both of them? That not you, your boyfriend, and the girl.
No. To be honest, I've been living in a hole. We've been living inside of a station for a while, kind of slumming it. It's too expensive to buy a berth here, any kind of bed.
Okay. And I look at the others, like kind of letting you all take over for questions. That's me for the second.
And have you reported the missing people to station security?
Yeah, but station security, people miss all the time. They just said that some jackass told me that I was that my boyfriend just left me and didn't want to say anything. Belters, we go missing all the time.
Right. So 1 second. I head back down to the airlock, and I just stick my head out and I'm like, look, we were told specifically by Fred Johnson to let security know if there was any trouble. This woman's boyfriend is missing. She's come for us to help. Just write it down so it's on record. I don't care if you tell anybody.
Okay.
And I close the door and head back up. I am not getting in trouble for this again. All right. And so I scan through the video of whatever feed is available nearest to the Pope Sanchez dock, and I'm looking for the Amy or Liz from that picture, Liz Green. And also I have her watching it as well, so if she spots her boyfriend.
Okay, so as you guys are going through the feeds, you notice something you didn't notice before. You're noticing that the Pope Sanchez guys, they all have jumpsuits to say Pope Sanchez on. Suddenly there are 7 figures total who show up. They look unsteady. One of them looks unsteady. The other 6 look fine. And the one that looks unsteady is got like a hoodie pulled up over its head. It kind of looks like a drunk, like someone who's just wandered in. But they're each getting scanned and then brought aboard the ship, and very public available records, because Pope Sanchez loves to talk about the shipping. There is a very public route that's going from Tycho. In fact, the name of the ship is called the Ebenezer Hazard. And the Hazard has been doing routes from Tycho to Vesta Station. They pride themselves on being the fastest transport in the system. They can really fast, stuff. and they openly talk about the Ebenezer Hazard being like the fastest ship in Tycho kind of thing. It's part of their advertising campaigns. So this is the berth for the Ebenezer Hazard, and all of them are boarding. This is not a cargo. It's a cargo ship, not a passenger ship. They're all boarding, being their IDs scanned.
Okay. Can I make a check to see if there's any archive footage from the time that the first scientist went missing of this
go
same
for it.
dock? Okay. Security again?
Yep.
And then I have this is a second check on the same thing, so I have that bonus from the stunt.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that this counts as close enough to count for that bonus.
Yeah. Also, because you've already done this research.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. So you are it's easier to find the archives of the other footage, and not only do you find the archives of the other footage, you recognize the image of the woman. You've been given the image of Anna. You actually are able to trace her movement from leaving her office. She was leaving the office, walking down, and she meets with a couple of people, and then looks like she's trying to back away. Kind of putting her hands up, and someone comes from behind her, and then just sticks something in her back. She kind of goes stiff and then limp, and then the guy catches her, and they start dragging her. And as you follow her, she's being dragged towards another group of belters, about 6 or so belters, who are lined up right outside the Ebenezer Hazard. It looks identical to the last one.
Anything interesting over there?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here pinching the bridge of my nose, just like.
Is that Anna? I'm like behind him. What?
Yeah. I was really hoping that this was just scientists unhappy with their job who decided to go. Oh God.
Yep, it's kidnapping. What's the name of that ship?
The Ebenezer Hazard.
All right. Maybe we should contact Fred Johnson and see if he knows anything about that ship specifically, or what?
There's gonna be plenty of news about this ship. Pope Sanchez loves to brag about the Ebenezer Hazard. And I'm like scrolling through news feeds on the side.
Yeah. Adds everything. There's like one where they apparently made the record trip, the world, or record of the fastest time from Tycho to Vesta, almost killing 2 of the crew members as they were doing it, kind of thing.
So this Sebastian Pope, is he here? Where is he?
Pope Sanchez is headquartered out of Durham, North Carolina. So
yeah, so dude probably lives on Earth.
Yeah. Well, he's active, but there's no record of his current residence. He's got homes all over the system. Luna, Earth.
What I want to check, since they publish so much information about this ship, they probably. I'm hoping that they post just sort of like the times it takes to get various.
They have. You can find records of. Give me a. Double check this one. Give me a intelligence tech test. Intelligence or tech test.
I'll just do straight intelligence. Then what I'm hoping to find is, if this ship is making runs to and from Vesta, I want to see if if the runs on these dates took longer for any reason.
Yeah.
From departure to arrival.
Man, we're like detectives.
Well, I am actually a cop.
So you actually you find out that it actually takes each of those trips took 14 hours longer than they should have.
Ooh, they stopped off somewhere.
Yep, exactly. And I'd be willing to bet money that if we took all the time it takes to go to Vesta and found these exact same security feeds, we wouldn't see Anna or any other hooded people leaving that ship.
Agreed. Do we know, can we find out if they have any other like properties or things that might be within a what like a 14-hour range of that route?
Yeah, that'd be a navigation check.
Probably
Looking
more
at
of a
charts and stuff
7-hour
like that.
range, because it would take 7 to get into that route, out of that route, and 7 back.
I see drones immediately move and open navigation check. John's like, that's me.
Hey, hey, good buddy.
Yeah.
I like
I
we're
have
all
piloting,
on the
I don't
terminal
really-
looking at Nicola, and then I just look over at or looking at the terminal, and I just look over at Nicola, and I was like,
I'm
I mean
more
this
piloting
in the
than
best way
navigation.
possible. When it comes to accepting jobs, how desperate would your boyfriend have been?
Pretty desperate.
Desperate enough to help kidnap somebody?
I can't say he hadn't done it in the past, but
I mean,
if he did it, he would have been pretty desperate.
Okay.
all right. Well, I guess we're helping you.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask her specifically, like, what's your situation right now? Are you like homeless? Are you doing okay? Like, what's do you need protected? Do you need to stay here in case?
I'm fine. I just need to find my boyfriend. I need to know what happened to him.
Well, why don't you sit with us for a while they work on this? Just in case we need information out of you, and we don't want somebody that might be. We don't want them to figure this out if they know. So, we don't want anybody getting hurt.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? You guys are trying to find out if there's some place they might have dumped them off on the route to Vesta?
Would I be able to do that with piloting or with just some generic? Because I don't have outright navigation. Intelligence? All right, let me try. And, yep, move secret to the top. Jeez. 12 with 3 stunt points.
If you want to use any of the stunt points.
Yeah, 1 second.
It'd be under investigation stunts.
I was thinking lucky break then.
Lucky break.
Yeah, that
a test result leads in fortuitously putting 2 to 2 together. Treat one irrelevant focus as a tangential one. Okay, give me a piloting check.
Piloting check, you got it. Secret.
Okay, so you kind of recognize some like rogue asteroids, some abandoned like mines and stuff like that in the region, but you're thinking, if I was to go into Vesta, I've got this much fuel. I need to drop something off and then pick it back up. How would I do it? And so you kind of like go through on your own mind into piloting a route and kind of like thinking about when you need to brake and all that kind of stuff. And you come up with this one. You're gonna point down on a chart right here. This has got to be the one. Which is an asteroid called 532 Herculana. It's an old asteroid mine that's been abandoned for months, years, in fact. It would require a detour of almost exactly 14 hours to get there and leave.
Well, guys, this is where I would drop somebody off if I was doing it. I'd show them on the map where.
And it accounts for drop-off time itself, too, not just travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, what's the next step here? Do we want to... I mean, we can't just, like, go guns blazing at that place, but maybe we can find some information here about it.
We're stuck here for at least 2 more days with Jata and lockup.
Right.
We're also stuck here for at least another day waiting for James to come pick up the brat.
So maybe we find out like about as much as we can about Pope Sanchez's holdings and dealings here. It's definitely something we might want to be interested in, and then maybe we also find, like, hopefully through that we can find people who might know something more about the shadiness of what's going on here, Who knows? Obviously, we're kind of being watched fairly heavily at this point. People, I mean, Fred Johnson was made aware of what the hell we're doing. I mean, if he's interested in why people are disappearing from here, maybe he has information relevant about that place that we don't, given that he is a station lead, and that's another place in the galaxy. I mean, pardon me, the system. But we definitely need to look into what this place used to be for, and if there's any records that currently exist about ownership or anything relevant. I mean,
Well,
all I got.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but the longer we wait, the less likely they're still there.
Well, it's been weeks. 2 days. I mean, we're stuck here for 2 days.
Yeah.
End of statement. So anything we can do in that time.
Your own records, by the way, when you were looking up for the Ebenezer Hazard, it's in dock right now.
Oh.
Oh man.
Maybe
they make them weekly. These are weekly runs they do. It's just that this one, last one 3 weeks ago, was the only one that took 14 hours, and then the exact one on the exact day that left on the exact day that Anna disappeared also took an exactly 14-hour detour. Normally they don't, but they do every week. They do a week trip back and forth.
I'm gonna quickly scan the records for the intervening time and see if there were any other trips that took
the 14-hour detour. Yeah,
that 14-hour detour. Okay.
None.
So no other missing people we need to worry about, at least. Oh. Okay. So pertinent questions. Do we loop in Johnson?
I think so.
I think so too. He might be helpful because he might know quite a bit about that ship, given that this is a station. It docks here all the time.
I don't think we should tell him about our potential destination.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll just ask. So we just ask him about the ship and Pope Sanchez then? Or yeah, okay. So how am I going to phrase this next thing I send him? Because I did send him one earlier, updating him a couple hours ago what we had. Now I can update it and say we need information about the Ebenezer hazard.
You know what? If we're gonna look at the hazard at any point, we may want to make sure we go through official channels. You should let Fred know what's up. I'm gonna go talk to Bull. I have video footage of one of these scientists being kidnapped.
Why don't you just tell him we're shipping something large and ask for a tour?
Because we don't have the funds to prove that, and any company worth its salt is going to look into us.
Well, we work for Culpepper. I mean, can we not
I was
name?
about to say.
All right, send a message to Benji and see if he can drum anything up for us. Then.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. So yeah, she's gonna send a message out to Fred Johnson, just basically saying, what we need as much information as we can gather about the Ebenezer hazard.
The scientists are definitely being kidnapped
Okay,
on your station.
so at least let him know.
Yeah.
That might be. That's definitely got to be the ship. Maybe forward him that footage of them getting dragged onto it, or whatever happened. So forward him the footage and tell him we definitely can confirm this is the ship that this is happening on. Please let us know anything that you know or could be helpful. Is that good enough? Y'all think that's good enough?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go talk to Bull as well.
Okay, so I'm just gonna send him that message and then sit and wait. Maybe take that girl, feed her whatever's left over, the food. That kind of thing.
She asked, once you guys are finished talking, she asked, okay, did you find him?
Not sure yet.
We think we know how he disappeared. I mean, obviously she knows that already. She was there when we saw that footage, right? Yeah. So
we think he helped
kidnap
one of those missing scientists and boarded the ship that took them away. But beyond that,
how about the other three?
Did you?
I mean, I'd bet that if you dug deeper, you'd find 2 more that are missing, and that they all assisted in the kidnapping. That's my hunch.
I'll go tell the wife.
Why not
Actually,
keep it to limited? We don't want to be spreading information that. Spreading information could get people on our case. So this is something that needs to stay in this room, because if she just happened to say it to the wrong, it doesn't need to get out to the wrong
She
channel.
needs to know.
That's
She's
I'm
That's
not
not-
saying don't tell her. I'm just saying don't tell her yet.
just let her know that
make a communications check. Persuasion, if you have it.
I'll do it. I'll make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just persuade her. Say, look, it's dangerous. The more people know this kind of information, this company could be coming back at people like you to retaliate, and her. And then persuasion. Here we go. Oh, wrong page. There we go. And all these little buttons to click. Okay. Secret. Submit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm glad I put 3 points in that.
She goes, all right, fine. I mean, as long as you can find him, I need to know where he is. You know, is he moved on? I can move on, but I need to know where he went, where he is. Same with Liz's wife. She just needs to know.
I'm going to be completely honest with you about something, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but when somebody hires somebody to do something like that, it may not have ended up well for him in the long run, especially if they wanted to tie a loose end, so to speak. So you need to be prepared for the worst if that's the case. Now, hopefully, wonderful, like it would be, I absolutely hope he's okay, but you need to probably mentally prepare for the worst in case the worst is true, if that makes sense. I mean, he did commit kind of a crime, essentially, for somebody, and that somebody may not want him to be able to be a loose end out there in the future.
Okay.
That
I
or
also just sort of surreptitiously scan back through that video footage just to see if any of the figures in suits that were like in spacesuits that were escorting the hooded person are obviously female from the one 3 weeks ago.
No, none of them are obviously female.
Okay, just very armored, and I can't tell, or
They're all wearing. Give me a seeing check, another perception check.
all right, just straight perception then. All right.
You want to use any of those stun points?
I will. I'm going to use the intuition stunt, which is the GM reveals a fact about the object of your test I could not have noticed or deduced simply by interacting with it.
You notice a symbol on the back of one of the guys, the guy who's facing the back towards the video camera, who was actually the one who stuck something in the back of Anna. You recognize the symbol, and you pull it up based off of Pope Sanchez, and you realize that Pope Sanchez has other companies that are that it controls, more than just Pope Sanchez. There are subsidiaries of Pope Sanchez, and it looks very similar to the symbol for a security company that they own called Vector Security.
Gotcha. Vector Security. Okay. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
All right.
But yeah.
So, what is your guys' next move?
Yeah. I mean, focus on other people. If they have something else first, I'm going to go talk to Bull specifically.
Pierce,
Same thing on my end.
what are your plans?
Get a bit of rest, I guess.
Pierce is just gonna go bed. It's like this is
Like you guys are way better at this than I am. You figure out where we need to go to get this stuff taken care of. There's all the connections.
I mean, maybe you could go with it's Cass. I mean, it's always good to have more than one person go out, walking out.
I guess so.
I mean,
I'll do that then.
just extra in case he needs the protection or he needs the hand and something.
Or in case we come across any nails that aren't fully driven into boards.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that idea.
All right. So, Cass, where are you going again? You're going to Bull, right?
Yeah.
Mark, do you have any plans?
You're muted.
Sorry, I might as well join them.
Okay. Sloan?
Yeah.
I might just kick it back here just to because that girl's still here, so I can just continue to kind of.
She needs to leave.
Okay. I mean, as long as it's her leave, I didn't know what y'all wanted to do with her, but obviously she's a flight risk if somebody grabs her. So that's kind of my concern.
Well, there's always Plan Kai, you know.
Well, I guess
dope her up and throw her in the med bay. You guys gonna?
We gotta.
I think
we gotta stop. We gotta get out of that habit.
It's effective as hell.
I mean, yeah,
not wrong.
We'll just let it go. We already persuaded her to not talk about it at all. So we can let her go, and then I can just keep Homestead here in case like we get more message from Genji or Fred Johnson to the ship.
Benji, not Genji.
Benji, sorry, yeah. I don't know why I keep saying Genji. But yeah, I'm gonna stay back for that, just so y'all have
Benji mains.
I'm already Benji.
Damn Benji mains.
But yeah, I just don't see her why she should go. Why all four of us need to leave when she should probably stay back at least for now. And I'm trying to kind of not be so dominant in the role play right now. So,
all right. So Mark,
you are the captain,
and Pierce. You guys go off to the security station where you guys had met. Where you had met Bull. You guys go in and you see same woman who you talked to earlier, who gave your guns back and everything. Goes back so soon. Do I need to keep your cell open and warm?
No, I think Jata is keeping it warm for us. Actually, here to see if Bull is available.
Bull? Yeah. I think he is. Hold on. And she goes through her. Oh, yeah. He's available. He's doing some training for something else, but they canceled it until they can figure out what to do with him. So, yeah, he's in his office. I think he's just bored. What do you need to talk to him about?
Suspected kidnapping.
Okay. Yeah. Let me hail him. So she pulls up her in terminal, and he picks it up, and you hear him kind of mumbling over. And she's like, "Yeah, it's me." Oh, yeah. There's people you arrested earlier. Yeah, they want to talk to you about a kidnapping. Does this have to do with Johnson? She looks up at you. Does this have to do with Johnson?
No, it's actually has to do with the Mormons.
They say it has to do with the Mormons. There's a long silence. And then you very, very clearly send them in. Huh? Hangs it. He'll be in the back.
We head back there.
All right, so you go back and you find his office. It's got his name on it. It's very fresh. And when you open the door, because it's unlocked, it slides open, you notice that his office is almost barren. There's nothing in it but a desk, a terminal, and a chair. He looks up at you and goes, "Well, if you're here to improve my day even further, please do.
I love what you've done with the place.
Just moved in. It's temporary."
Right. I step in and gesture the other guys in. I'm not going to mince words. There's a corporation operating on your station, kidnapping and shipping off scientists from the Nauvoo project.
And this corporation is?
Hope Sanchez.
The Hazard? He looks at it and he goes, looks at his terminal and goes through it. Yeah, the Hazard. They're kidnapping people with a fast transport ship.
Mm-hmm.
You have evidence of this?
I do, and I like gesture towards one of his screens, and you mind?
Right ahead.
I walk over, I tap my hand terminal on there. It's all right.
Brings up the footage.
Scroll back to a year ago.
Yeah.
I also pull out the information we have on Anna.
Okay. So you're basically like reviewing all the information for
Yeah.
him.
The whole thing. I was like, this.
You-
Here she is.
This.
Here she is getting tased. Here
Yeah.
she is getting dragged aboard the Ebenezer Hazard. Here are the logs showing that the Ebenezer Hazard's subsequent trip took an extra 14 hours. And here are a very similar set of images from 3 weeks ago when this other scientist went missing.
Shit. The fuck's Pope Sanchez doing with biochemists? They're a shipping company.
Couldn't tell you. I know Sebastian Pope wants to leave the solar system, and one of these scientists had a pet project in cryogenics.
True. Oh shit. I don't know.
Look, I'm gonna level with you here, Bull. This is more of a courtesy. We were instructed by Mr. Johnson to loop security in if we ran across any trouble. So we're doing that. We are
Well-
also going to be conducting an independent investigation.
So I've heard with the Mormons. You told me earlier.
So, I don't expect this to come to gunfire, but I'm letting you know what we're working on. One professional to another.
Well, then one professional to another. He kind of goes through this, and then sends a bit of information for you. It is a hotel, and it's 3 names.
Name time.
3 names are Mia Gallagher, Jay Chen, Colton Haig.
Mia Gallagher, Jay Chen, and Colton Haig.
Yeah, and Colton Haig. 2 of them, Mia and Colton, I'm sorry, Mia and Jay, are pilot and co-pilot aboard the Ebenezer Hazard. They're registered with Pope Sanchez Shipping, and Colton is registered as security for Vector Security. All 3 of them have been registered crew aboard the Ebenezer Hazard. All 3 of them are staying in a hotel. It's just across the bay from their ship.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. As I said, I will try and keep this fairly quiet.
Yeah, thank you for the information. I'll loop Johnson in on this whole thing and figure out what's going on.
All right. Find things are always easier when you work with the locals.
Apparently, that sometimes they get dummy thick. It still cracks me up. It's just whenever I hear the term "dummy thick," I think of you saying we didn't know that Pinkwater Security was dummy thick, and I just lost my mind. Oh.
You saw the video of the voice actor for Solid Snake saying that, right?
Really?
Yeah, it was like he was going like, Colonel, I was trying to sneak around, but my ass cheeks are dummy thick, and the clap keeps alerting the guards. And it's like the actual voice actor doing that stuff. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
That doesn't surprise me, but I love it.
All right. Anything else?
No. I'll make sure that you stay informed, and
just do me a favor. Don't remove their limbs.
You've got our expert in that field locked up. It'll be fine.
All right.
Oh, let me put it this way. If it comes down to it, I will make sure that the city does not have to incur any medical costs.
Okay.
What about morgue costs?
That I make no promises, and I just turn and I leave.
Medical. Got it.
He nods and sees you guys out. All right. I think we're gonna pause there and wait for Maya to come back because it's been a couple hours. We didn't not a lot of action this time, but I wanted to it's a little bit more gathering information. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it who were watching it. I'm sorry for all the other problems we were having earlier with stuff like that. We're going to be moving back to some other stuff next time and see if that works.
Perfect.
But let's go through and talk favorite moments of the game. Mark, what was your drones? What are your favorite moments of the game?
Probably going out and getting turrets added to our ship.
Turrets added to the ship.
Actually succeeding on that.
Gas. HP.
Genuinely, like, just the whole investigation thing, like putting the pieces together and actually getting somewhere with it, was really nice. Just like, okay, now we have all of these puzzle pieces that are like the edges line up, and we're starting to see a picture of what's happening.
How about you, Sloan, Buster? What was your favorite moment?
I kind of agree with HP Braincase a lot. Like there was so much like meat. Like I did not expect us to get this far in the investigation in this session. I've done so many games where that kind of stuff takes like a couple of sessions, and I mean we got from not knowing pretty much a dang thing except these people are missing to we know what happened to them. We know these guys took them. We just got to figure out why and how. And I have theories out of game, but yeah, that was awesome. And I feel bad for Pierce. He's just like, I'm just gonna walk around with everybody.
Well, I'm fine with that. I was enjoying seeing how everything unfolded as well. Definitely the finally reaching conclusions as well once you figure out, okay, like, all right, so some extra serious shit's going on. Also, I mean, flying and serving aboard a ship called the Hazard. You sure about that? just want to say, it's like, yeah, so I named this ship Crash and Burn.
I named my ship Unfortunate Accidents.
I definitely like the way y'all collected Kai. That's probably, moment-wise, definitely my favorite moment.
Just like, yeah, no, we're gonna take you home, buddy.
Yeah, come on, buddy. It's all right.
That too, the whole like back and forth with Kai going on.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, if you guys enjoyed this, please do hit that follow button. Make sure to follow and subscribe to all of these wonderful folks. If you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, thank you guys for watching. We do this live every 2 weeks, and we do a rebroadcast on Twitch the week after. So, like, for instance, this right now is going to be rebroadcast next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that we'll come back for another session. We may start doing multiple rebroadcasts. I might also do them on Tuesdays just to kind of like
build it up
a little bit more, because just trying to get more awareness of it. So if you guys do see this and you enjoy this, if you're a fan of the Expanse or the Expanse RPG and you want to spread it around, please do. It helps us a lot.
Or if you're a fan of live play shows and you're enjoying this, not just the Expanse, like if you know people who enjoy live play content.
Yeah,
definitely. Like, especially tabletop RPGs and such, it's always good to help spread the word, because one of the hardest things to do with these kind of broadcasts is just letting people know they exist. A lot of people don't know these kind of things exist. So,
and maybe one day you could do a marathon of the episodes you have so far when you're not streaming.
Be a good idea.
That way, some people like that won't necessarily, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to take the day and watch these," or step on a few things. Oh, go get the door.
Yeah. Someone's asking about weekly sessions. The only issue about weekly sessions, which would be good, is the availability. I don't want to like take up every week of these guys' lives, because they're all broadcasters. We've got 2 voice actors and part of the crew, so and Saturdays can be kind of busy for a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm thinking that we might do sometime in July. I might do an alternate session of the Expanse RPG, something slightly different, or another session entirely with some other crew and maybe these cast members if they want to come on. But but we'll see how that goes, and that'll be every other Saturday to kind of fill in the gaps. But yeah, Dr. Jones linked it. For those of you guys who are wondering, this is the official The Expanse RPG. It is licensed by Green Ronin Games. They use their system, their age system, modern age system that they adapted for it. But it is officially licensed through the writers of the Expanse books. And it is available on their website. It's available. The hard copy is available on Amazon, and you can get a PDF copy through DriveThruRPG. It's available pretty much anywhere. And for those of you wondering, there is no DM guide or GM guide. It's actually attached to the game manual itself, the main game manual. So you only need one book, which is pretty cool.
Kind of like D20 Modern back in the day. It was just the one core book that you needed, and you could run a whole game off of it.
Yeah. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for hanging out with us. As I say every time, hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, hope to see you someday in the black. Later, guys.
All right.